Hi and welcome to this video series. This is the fourth video in this guide for making a factory layout in virtual reality with the help of Unreal Engine. The plan for this video is to show you how to start a new level and import your own factory. Here you can also see the timestamps for the different parts of the video. Okay, so let's create a new level. Go to Content, Everything is here, and select the Duplicate this for new factory level. Then click Ctrl-D to duplicate it. You now have a copy which we can rename. I'm gonna name it New Factory. Let's double-click to open it. Now that it has loaded this new level, we can see that we only have the essentials in the outliner, and we are ready to add things. Since we now are ready to import our factory into Unreal, we need to make sure we have the factory ready. We choose to import it into Unreal Engine as an FBX file. But you can use almost any 3D file type you want. If you have your file ready, you can skip this part of the video, since we are going to show how to export as FBX from Autodesk's Fusion 360. Let's switch to Fusion and our 3D model here. Make sure you have given your model parts different materials so we can change them later in Unreal. I'm happy with my 3D model I have here, so let's click on File. Then Export. Change the file type to FBX, then we can choose where we want to save it. I'm just going to save it to this folder on my computer. We now have to wait for it to be exported. Now that the export is done, we go back into Unreal Engine and click File, then Import into Level. Then we find where we saved the 3D file and choose it. We then need to choose where to put the file in the project. Let's go into Everything is here, Other Assets, and create a new folder which we are going to name Factory 2 and then select it. On Hierarchy Type, we can select Create Level Actors. The other settings are fine like they are, so I'm just going to click Import. Now you select the actor in the outliner, and under Details in the Transform tab, you need to change the rotation to 0 degrees. Hopefully the factory looks correct. If it's not, you might need to rotate it, or your scale might be off. Unreal uses centimeters, so that might be why. Now let's select the floor of your factory. Double-click the static mesh to open it in a new window. Press Collision, then choose Add Box Simplified Collision. Okay, great. We can now save it and close it. You can do the same thing with the walls and roof if you want to, but it's not necessary. If you don't have a factory, we will do a simple factory here straight away in Unreal Engine. Okay, if you didn't have your own factory as a 3D model, you can go ahead and follow these steps instead. If you haven't already, open up the duplicated factory level. Now we can start adding meshes. Let's add a box. So click Add, then Shapes, and then Cube. Change the location to 0, 0, 0. And now let's scale it. I'm just going to make it flat and use it as a floor. Let's rename this body to Floor. We can repeat these steps and create some simple walls and roof. I'm just going to do it really quickly. Alright, here we have a simple factory with 4 walls and a roof. Now we have a factory, either an imported one or the simple one we just made. In the Essentials folder in the outliner, we find the NavMesh bounds volume that we'll need in order to tell the program where you're allowed to teleport in VR. We can just resize this so it covers the floor. If you don't have a NavMesh in your scene, you can add it by clicking Add, Volume, and NavMesh Bounds Volume. To be sure it works, we can toggle the visibility of where you can teleport by clicking P on your keyboard. If it's not working, it might be because there is no collision box on the floor. Make sure it's set up correctly and try again. When the floor is green, it should be working. We can try this by going into VR and teleport around. Seems like it's working. you can try in your project to make sure it's working in VR for you as well. That's all for this video. In the next video, we'll be explaining how to import your machines and other objects into the project. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one.